Let us start with something that surprises many men. By the time a man reaches his 50s, more than half will experience some degree of lowered testosterone. According to the Massachusetts Male Aging Study, almost 1 in 2 men over the age of 40 report changes in sexual function, energy levels, or mood. And yet, most men still do not talk about it. Instead of having open, honest discussions, the conversation is frequently replaced by quick fixes, trending fad supplements, or whispered myths that lack scientific backing. You may have heard bold claims, such as just take this pill and your testosterone will skyrocket overnight, or perhaps the pessimistic view that there is nothing you can do once your levels begin to drop. I am here to tell you that neither of these statements are true. The actual truth lies somewhere in the middle. While it is true that testosterone naturally shifts as we age, your lifestyle, your nutrition, and small daily rituals can make a powerful, tangible difference. One such ritual, which is the primary focus of our consultation today, involves something as simple as what you mix with olive oil before bed. That may sound unusual to you, but I promise you, this is not about gimmicks. It is not about shortcuts, and it is certainly not about miracle cures. Before we dive deeper into the science and the specific recipe, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us spread this vital evidence-based health information to more men who need to hear it. It is fundamentally about understanding how nutrition interacts with your hormones, your metabolism, and your overall vitality. Think of it this way: your body is not a broken machine that suddenly fails after 50. It is more like a finely tuned orchestra. As time goes on, some instruments like testosterone may play a little softer, while others such as cortisol or insulin resistance start to play louder. The result is not harmony, but imbalance. The goal is not to force one instrument to play at maximum volume, but to restore balance in the entire performance. This is where foods like olive oil, rich in monounsaturated fats and antioxidants, come into play. Before we dive into the specific ritual, we must build a solid foundation by understanding exactly how testosterone changes after the age of 50 and why so many men misunderstand this process. First, here is what the research shows: testosterone does not suddenly collapse at 50 or 60. Rather, it declines slowly, on average about 1% per year after the age of 30 to 40. This statistic comes from large studies, including data published by the National Institutes of Health, which track hormone changes across decades. That means by the time a man reaches his late 50s, his testosterone may be 20 to 30% lower than when he was in his 20s. That is not always a crisis, but it is noticeable. Now here is where confusion often starts. Some men assume that every symptom, whether it is low energy, poor erections, or mood swings, must mean low testosterone. Others think it is just part of aging and that nothing can be done. Neither of those views is entirely correct. Think of testosterone as a signal, much like the Wi-Fi connection in your home. The strength of the signal matters, but so does the quality of the device receiving it. In the male body, testosterone must bind to receptors, interact with enzymes, and balance against other hormones like estrogen and cortisol. You could have an okay level of testosterone on a lab test, but if your receptors are blocked by inflammation or excess fat tissue, the signal does not get through. On the other hand, even a modest level of testosterone can function powerfully if your body is primed to use it well. That is why age alone does not determine testosterone health. Lifestyle factors, sleep, diet, stress, alcohol, smoking, and physical activity shape whether the hormone orchestra plays in harmony or in disarray. For example, researchers at Harvard Medical School have shown that obesity Especially abdominal fat converts testosterone into estrogen through an enzyme called aromatase. So the more belly fat you carry, the more testosterone you lose to estrogen conversion. This is not a problem of age. It is a problem of environment. Now that we have laid the foundation of how testosterone changes after 50, let us take a much closer look at olive oil itself. Why is this food more than almost any other oil so deeply connected to hormonal health, cardiovascular function, and vitality? In men, here is what the research shows: olive oil, especially extra virgin olive oil, is rich in monounsaturated fats, primarily oleic acid and polyphenols, which are natural plant antioxidants. These compounds have been studied extensively from the University of Madrid to the Harvard School of Public Health, and the findings are remarkably consistent. Olive oil is not only safe for the heart, but also beneficial for hormonal balance. Think of your hormone-producing organs, your testes, adrenal glands, and even your brain as factories. These factories need raw materials, clean fuel, and well-maintained machinery to work efficiently. Cholesterol, which often gets a bad reputation, is actually the raw material for testosterone production. Your body takes cholesterol, transports it into the testes, and then converts it into testosterone through a cascade of enzymatic steps. If your cholesterol balance is poor, or if the machinery is rusted by oxidative stress, testosterone output can falter. Olive oil addresses both sides of this equation. First, the healthy fats provide a steady source of cholesterol in a form that supports hormone production without clogging arteries or raising dangerous low-density lipoprotein levels. Second, the antioxidants in olive oil protect the Leydig cells in the testes, the very cells responsible for making testosterone, from oxidative damage. A study published in Natural Product Communications in 2013 found that men who consumed olive oil daily showed improved testosterone levels and healthier lipid profiles compared to those who consumed butter or margarine. But it does not stop at testosterone. Olive oil also improves insulin sensitivity. Before we proceed to the specific combinations, if this explanation is helping you connect the dots, please take a moment to hit the like button. It helps more men find accurate research-based information instead of falling for quick fixes online. And if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on future insights into your health. We now turn to an intriguing question: why does it matter what you combine olive oil with before bed? Is this simply tradition, or is there real science behind timing and food pairing? Here is what the research shows: nutrient absorption and hormonal rhythms are not static throughout the day. They shift according to circadian cycles, the internal clock that governs sleep hormone release, and even digestion. Testosterone, for example, peaks in the early morning hours and is lowest in the evening. When you eat the right foods before bed, you are not just feeding your stomach. You are feeding into this hormonal rhythm, creating an environment where testosterone can be supported and protected overnight. Let us take olive oil as our base. On its own, it delivers healthy fats and antioxidants. But when paired with other foods rich in minerals, amino acids, or specific compounds, it becomes part of a symphony that supports hormonal health. For example, mixing olive oil with a source of zinc such as pumpkin seeds or a small serving of yogurt can enhance testosterone support. Zinc is a critical coactor in testosterone production. Without it, the body struggles to complete the conversion process. A study from Oregon State University showed that even mild zinc deficiency leads to measurable reductions in testosterone. By pairing zinc-rich foods with olive oil, absorption improves and the nutrients work hand in hand. Another powerful partner is honey. Beyond its pleasant sweetness, honey contains flavonoids and natural sugars that gently support insulin sensitivity while providing fuel for the brain overnight. Studies published in evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine suggest that honey may have antioxidant and androgen supportive properties. When taken with olive oil, the combination appears to amplify the protective effects on hormone-producing tissues. Timing also matters significantly. Consuming this mixture before bed allows the body to metabolize the fat slowly through the night, providing a steady release of nutrients rather than a sharp spike. This aligns with the body's natural production of luteinizing hormone, which stimulates the testes to produce testosterone, primarily in the early morning hours. Think of it like setting out fuel for a fire just before the coldest part of the night. You are preparing your system to burn steadily, not to sputter and fade. We must dive deeper into another often overlooked connection: how olive oil influences insulin, belly fat, and weight control, and why these factors may be even more important for testosterone than the food itself. So far, we have looked at olive oil as a source of healthy fats and a partner for nutrients, but there is another critical dimension: the relationship between olive oil, insulin sensitivity, belly fat, and testosterone health. Here is what the research shows: insulin resistance, which becomes increasingly common in men after the age of 50, is one of the silent killers of testosterone. When your body becomes resistant to insulin, blood sugar remains high, fat storage increases, especially around the abdomen, and inflammation spreads throughout the body. This combination sets off a chain reaction. Belly fat produces more aromatase, the enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. Over time, this creates a hormonal imbalance where testosterone falls, estrogen rises, and vitality declines. A study published in the journal Diabetes Care highlighted that men with central obesity and insulin resistance had significantly lower testosterone compared to men of the same age without insulin problems. In fact, the relationship is so strong that many endocrinologists now consider low testosterone both a cause and a consequence of metabolic syndrome. So, where does olive oil fit into this vicious cycle? Clinical studies on the Mediterranean diet, in which olive oil is a central component, consistently show improvements in insulin sensitivity and reductions in abdominal fat. A landmark study published in the New England Journal of Medicine followed thousands of participants over several years. Those who consumed a Mediterranean diet rich in olive oil not only had lower risks of heart disease, but also demonstrated better glucose control compared to those eating a low-fat diet. Let me use a metaphor here. Imagine insulin as the key that unlocks the door to your cells so glucose can enter and provide energy. In insulin resistance, that key becomes rusty, and the door does not open easily. Olive oil acts like an oil for the lock, literally smoothing the mechanism so the key can turn again. When the door opens, glucose enters efficiently, fat storage decreases, and testosterone no longer faces the same metabolic burden. We now arrive at an often overlooked dimension of testosterone health: the role of sleep and stress hormones, and why your nighttime ritual with olive oil matters more than you might realize. Here is what the research shows: testosterone follows a daily rhythm, rising during the night and peaking in the early morning hours. This rise is tightly linked to deep restorative sleep. Studies from the University of Chicago have shown that men who are sleep-deprived can see testosterone levels drop by as much as 15% after just 1 week of restricted sleep. That decline can mimic what you would normally expect after 10 to 15 years of aging. In other words, poor sleep accelerates hormonal decline. At the same time, stress hormones such as cortisol play a critical role. Cortisol, often called the fight or flight hormone, naturally peaks in the morning to help you wake up and gradually falls at night to prepare you for rest. But in many men, chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated into the evening. This is a problem because cortisol and testosterone have an inverse relationship. When cortisol is high, testosterone production is suppressed. This is where a nightly ritual anchored in nutrition can make a profound difference. Olive oil, when paired with calming, nutrient-rich foods, does more than provide raw materials for testosterone. It also helps regulate stress responses and supports better sleep quality. The healthy fats in olive oil promote the release of satiety hormones that calm hunger signals, preventing late-night blood sugar spikes that can disrupt sleep. Additionally, when combined with magnesium-rich foods such as almonds or leafy greens earlier in the evening, it encourages relaxation of the nervous system. Magnesium acts as a natural muscle relaxant and supports the production of melatonin, the hormone that governs sleep. We have explored the science of testosterone, declined the unique properties of olive oil, and the importance of sleep. The question now becomes, how do you bring this knowledge into your daily life in a way that is practical, sustainable, and effective? Here is what the research shows: long-term consistency matters more than dramatic short-term changes. A study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism demonstrated that men who maintained healthy lifestyle habits showed not only higher testosterone levels, but also lower risks of chronic disease. Let us break it down step by step. Step 1. Choose quality olive oil. It must be extra virgin, cold-pressed, and stored in a dark glass bottle. Avoid cheap blended oils that are diluted with soybean or sunflower oil. Quality ensures that you are actually getting the polyphenols and antioxidants that make this practice worthwhile. Step 2. Decide on a simple pairing. If your primary concern is testosterone production, focus on zinc and magnesium by using pumpkin seeds, almonds, or even a small portion of Greek yogurt. If your goal is better sleep and nervous system relaxation, consider honey for its calming sugars and flavonoids. Step 3. Time it right. Consume your mixture about 30 to 40 minutes before bed. This gives your body enough time to begin digestion, but not so much that you feel heavy or uncomfortable. Step 4. Pair the ritual with your environment. Dim the lights, reduce screen time, and avoid stimulants such as caffeine or alcohol in the hours leading up to bedtime. Olive oil will help, but it cannot overcome the disruptive effects of late-night stress or blue light exposure. Step 5. Track your response. Every man's body is slightly different. Pay attention to how you feel in the mornings, your energy throughout the day, and even your sexual health. These are signals that tell you whether the orchestra is tuning properly. Imagine building a campfire. Olive oil is the dry wood, reliable and steady. Honey, seeds, or nuts are the kindling that helps the fire catch. Your nightly environment, darkness, calm, and routine, is the shield that protects the fire from wind. We have covered a great deal in this consultation, so let us bring it all together. Testosterone does not suddenly disappear after 50. It declines gradually, and that decline is shaped as much by lifestyle as by age. Olive oil, with its healthy fats and powerful antioxidants, provides the raw materials and protection your body needs to keep producing testosterone. When paired with zinc, magnesium, or honey before bed, it works in harmony with your circadian rhythms to support sleep, balance insulin, reduce inflammation, and create the right environment for hormones to thrive. Here is what I want you to remember: testosterone is not just about libido or performance. It is about strength, bone health, cognition, mood, and overall vitality. When levels drop too far, men do not just feel less sexual, they feel less alive. But the good news is this: you have powerful tools in your own hands. Small, consistent rituals, like mixing olive oil with a nutrient-rich partner before bed, can help you nourish your body at exactly the time when hormones are most active. You deserve clarity, not confusion. You deserve information that empowers you, not myths that shame you. That is why I want you to walk away from this video with one clear action for tonight. Try a simple mixture of olive oil with honey seeds or nuts and observe how your body responds. Use that as a starting point to build consistency, not as a miracle cure, but as a supportive, evidence-informed practice. If you found value in this video and want to support your health journey, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Sharing your experience in the comments could help another man who is silently struggling with the same challenges. Remember, you are not broken, and you are not destined to decline without hope. Your body is adaptive, resilient, and responsive to the care you give it.